What is up, everyone? How's it going? First and foremost, thank you so much for subscribing to the free 7-day meal plan with Our Purpose Nutrition. I am Desi Abeda, founder of Our Purpose Nutrition and registered dietitian and online nutrition coach and thought leader. So again, thank you so much for subscribing to this. What I wanted to do with this video is to teach you a bit about what is going to help you be successful with your 7-day meal plan. So as a lot of you know, it's not going to take 7 days for you to get to your goal, but a big piece of this is teaching you the basics and teaching you the education that you would need in order to set something up primarily, and then consistency and everything else is going to be your biggest feature. All right. So when we tackle this first one, what I want you to get into the mindset of doing is understanding that as you go through the directions, these are going to be basic directions for you. Again, something that's more specified for you or something that's going to keep you consistent and accountable are things that we're going to talk about in later video series. But I want you to make sure that you understand that while this is teaching you basics, you can still learn a lot from your behavior. So don't get lost in that all or nothing thinking. Don't get lost in if you didn't complete day one that you failed. Take a look at this from the standpoint of providing you education and information, because some of you actually might need a coach like myself, and that's okay. For others, this is just something that provides variety. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of the notes section and why I think this is going to be really important for you. So as you go through this, and I would encourage you to make sure that you read through it, the first thing that we're really trying to tackle is your mindset. Right? So you didn't just wake up one day. Let's say for those that are looking to navigate fat loss, you didn't wake up one day like, oh my God, I'm really uncomfortable in my body. My energy is down. I'm super it took some time to get there. So in regards to the mindset, your ability to stay out of that all or nothing thinking, your ability to make sure that you are doing this consistently is going to be your best asset and your best friend. You might need accountability, you might need discipline, you might need all of the things that keep you consistent. But right now, what I want you thinking about is like, okay, as I try to follow this meal plan, what do I need? All right. So as it walks you through the strategy as well, this meal plan is basic, right at the range of about 1,900 to 2,100 calories. So regarding your body type, your activity, your stress levels, how you sleep, there's a lot that needs to be focused in on. But just from the basics, from the standpoint of providing you with nutrition quality, a good balance of your macronutrients, and then overall, like what might be for most a slight deficit, or perhaps a maintenance goal at 19 to 2100, this teaches you a bit about yourself. Okay. And now in regards to the strategy, I walk you through like, okay, what are your goals? This is how you can alter it. All right. And so for someone who is not used to tracking their macronutrients or their calories, you might just really want to focus in on taking a look at the portions. You know, what does half a cup look like? What does a cup look like? What does 4 ounces of animal protein look like? And so those are things that would help you be really successful. Some other things here that I have going down is giving you a breakdown. So you'll see that usually what I've done here is I've created a meal and expanded it usually into 2 to 3 days. And for you, I think that's going to be a really big asset. So a really good way to think about this is like, okay, because all of our time is very different depending on the type of time that you have to devote to your health and your goals. But what's going to be really helpful is, let's say the dinner that you have the night before, you're creating extra so that you have lunch for tomorrow. And that's exactly what I did. And so you're going to be making these in excess. If you find yourself getting to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't keep extra food in the house, I just feel like I'm going to eat it, you also might need a coach, which is another reason why, as you kind of go up here, I have the apply here that you can click on where you can apply for nutrition coaching and see if you're a good fit. Because what I always like to do is check in the vibe of people like, hey, like what do you need in order to be successful? So if you're someone that's just like, hey, I'm super lost, I find myself binging a lot, these are all things that might be really helpful for you. So that's how it's broken down. I also gave you your nutrition as well. What you're going to find is that it's going to be relatively higher protein, higher volume. That's going to help you eat less by eating more, if that makes sense. Okay. So for anyone that's ever done a 1,000 calorie or 1,200 calorie thing, you're super moody, you're not eating well, you're always starving. This meal plan is not like that. This meal plan is to help you with a sustainable measure of your outcome. So if it's fat loss, it's helping you with getting to a point where you understand a calorie deficit, understand volume, and even if you're doing maintenance or even a surplus, it's helping you to understand that nutrition quality needs to be of the highest regard on top of your individual goal with your ability to be consistent, okay? So as we walk through it a little bit more, I also have your shopping list for the 7 days. What I tend to find in most cases is first making sure that you take an audit of the things that you have at home. So let's say if you have extra lean ground beef frozen in your freezer, I'm not going to expect you to go out and get another one. Like, I want you to take a personal audit of what you have in your kitchen, what you have in your pantry, your freezer, your fridge. First, making sure that you're throwing all the expired goods out, right? Because food waste is not good for anyone. And then taking a look like, okay, how many of these things do I have? For some, like, you already might have avocado oil, you might have balsamic vinegar, and you can also alter it too. Like, even just with the avocado oil, you can still use a olive oil, or you can still use a canola. And so in the notes of each recipe, I actually have things that you can do where you can alter it, right? So for this peanut butter and jam overnight oats, I talk about, making sure that your refrigeration is good, making sure that you can keep it up to 4 days. And so there's a lot of food safety in here that I, as a dietitian, already know, and I try to teach my clients, but this is also something that you can kind of hone up on. So what I try to do as well is to make sure that there's plenty of flavors, plenty of colors, and keeping things varietal and keeping things for you really, really excited about food. Because for any of us who have ever tried to do any sort of crash diet or try to eat on our own, it's like, well, Des, I'm like tired of chicken, broccoli, and quinoa, or I'm tired of chicken, broccoli, and half-baked potato. No one's going to like that for multiple days, right? And so what this try to get you into the mindset of what it looks like to start building on foundations that keep your food exciting and keep your food in a way where you can alter your goals and accomplish them. So be sure to make sure that you're navigating the rest of this series. I wanted to help you out with this. This next time, we'll talk a bit more about what's going to keep you successful after the 7 days happen. Peace.